Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about having multiple bank accounts and why you may want to consider having more accounts than you already have. I have 20, as you can see here. I've got a fair few cards. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I've got a lot of accounts, and 20, some people might say that's a bit excessive, but every single account serves a purpose. And then I have a couple of backup accounts, which I'm going to explain on the board behind me. But let me just go through some of the reasons why you may want to consider and the benefits of having multiple accounts, because I recently put out a YouTube short just showing the breakdown of my accounts, and a lot of the questions I got were, why do you need so many accounts? You know, do I need that many accounts? And could you explain it a little bit more? So hence why I'm doing a follow-up video. I do have an original video which I'll include on the screen somewhere if you wanted to go and check that out and actually see how much things have changed, and now I have more accounts than that original video. So what are the benefits of having multiple accounts if you are someone that wants to do well financially, or you just love money managing, which is someone like myself? So why? Well, it's ensuring you always pay yourself first. So when your income drops into your account, I know a lot of people that would go out and they would buy materialistic things, they'd spend it on food, drink, or going out the weekend. That's not what we want to do. Savvy money management is about paying yourself first, whether you're self-employed, a business owner, or you're employed. It makes no odds. You need to pay yourself first. So that's one reason. The second would be it really helps with tracking your funds. So being able to see what's going out and what's coming in is so much easier when they're in separate accounts, and you've got things coming in goes into one account and your outgoings are from another account. Whereas if you had them all mixed in, which I know a lot of people do because they just have your generic current account and then their own savings account, potentially a credit card, sometimes it gets a bit muddled in terms of knowing what's gone out, what's come in. So it's very clear when you have separate accounts for your outgoings and income. It also reduces your chances of materialistic spending. So by removing the excess funds that drop into your current account where you receive the income, if you're not moving them out of that account to avoid the spending, you might open up, go into a shop, look at your account and think, I've got enough to buy it. Whereas if you take that out from day one, so as soon as the money drops in, and of course we want everything on standing orders, why would you not? The money shouldn't be there for you to spend. And we'll get on to a fun account because obviously we do need to enjoy some of the money. It also helps towards your automation and systemization of becoming wealthy over a long period of time. So if you have everything on a standing order and it's all automated, it's so much easier for the compound effect to kick in that you don't even have to touch it. Your money drops in, and obviously if you are an entrepreneur or you're an investor or a business owner, I can pretty much guarantee you're always looking to make more money and new ways of cash flow. So the more money that comes in, the more automation happens, and then it compounds over a period of time, and before you know it, 10, 15 years later, you've been building up some nice wealth pots in the background and you didn't need to do a thing. It also massively helps towards managing and making sure you pay your tax correctly, because this is something that a lot of people slip up on. If they're self-employed, they're business owners, entrepreneurs, they don't put aside the tax, and it gets lost within the income, it gets lost within the spending. The tax man comes around at the end of the financial year and says, you owe this amount, and you look at your accounts. I know this has happened millions of times to people, and they look at it and think, I haven't got the money. I don't know what I should have put aside. So on the board in a minute, I'm going to show you how I separate off my tax, and it's really important you nail that. Also, another huge bonus of diversifying, and I have 9 banks, a mix between banks and building societies that I use, is that if a bank or a building society were to fold and were to collapse, which has happened before, it's not, it's not something that could not happen. It is a possibility. It's unlikely, and you are obviously protected up to the 85,000, but problems could still occur. So for example, if a bank was to put in a withdrawal or a transfer restriction, which again could be possible, if you're only tied to one bank, how are you going to get access to cash? Unless you're someone that has commodities that you could sell up and liquidate, you're not going to have any cash that you can get hold of, and that could quite possibly happen. The final point is, which I really like, it helps towards forecasting your future wealth. So when you know what's going into certain pots and it's consistent, and you know that's happening weekly and monthly, you can then start to forecast what you will have in the future. And what you always want to try and do is increase the amount that you're saving and investing, and it just keeps everything really nice and clear, really simple, so that you can make plans to what you're going to have. So those are the main reasons why I have 20 bank accounts. 3 of them are sitting dormant. They're technically backup accounts. I'm going to hop you over to the board, and then we'll go through the actual breakdown of these accounts and what it looks like for me, so you've got a better idea. So these are the accounts that I have. So we've got 8 current accounts, 1 business, 4 savings, 1 private pension, 1 credit card and 2 cash holdings, bringing you to a total of 20. Like I say, there are 3 current accounts that just sit dormant and are basically just spares. Now, this is the breakdown. So 4 income streams drop into a current account, which obviously current accounts are very easy access. 1 goes into a business account. Starting with the first one, money drops in, then it goes into a private pension. This is all automated, by the way. Then it goes into a cash holding, and then I pay my credit card off last. I don't worry about paying my credit card off straight away because the bank can wait. Second current account, money drops into an investment account and the second cash holdings, which maintenance and a rainy day fund. Current account into a savings account, which I believe that one might be for my son, an investment account, another current account dropping into another savings into fun money. Because again, like I said before, you need to be able to enjoy some of the money, but it all gets separated off. There we go. Business account, investment account into another savings account, and all of these will automated to pay the tax which is owed. So down here, like I said, I've got 3 backup accounts made up of 9 different banks and building societies, all automated on standing orders. Okay, so I'm hoping that gave you a very good insight to why I have that many accounts and the purpose that all of them serve. Final points are, the more income streams that you have, the more you're going to want to consider having multiple bank accounts. And again, diversify, don't stick with the same bank to obviously reduce your risk. If you did like this video, please do hit like and subscribe. And any questions, pop in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And until next time, I'll see you all very soon.